Hey guys, Brian from Boas here. I'm happy to report that the Boas YouTube channel now has merch. And so today I wanted to say a little bit more about what kind of merch I have. Tell you guys where you can see the merch and purchase some if you want. And hopefully get your feedback about what you want to see in future merch items. And so this has been kind of a long time coming. You know, a number of people over the last few years have been asking me about merch. Am I going to get merch? You know, if you're not hip on the YouTube lingo, that of course is merchandise. And my main problem with merch is I see a lot of people selling stuff and they basically have a logo that they paid some person they don't even know on the internet like $100 to design. And then they just plaster it on t-shirts, mugs, you know, hats, whatever item they could think of, and it's all the same, and it's just some lame logo, and it's almost like they're doing merch for the sake of doing merch. And I didn't want to approach it like that at all. I wanted to create items that were unique to my channel. They were unique to boa keepers, and they prominently featured beautiful pictures of beautiful boas. And I was thinking about it for quite a while, and I've come up with a few designs to get started, and I'm going to share some of them with you today. But of course I want to solicit what your feedback about what you want to see in merch so that I can hopefully better design merch that meets your needs and your desires for the future. And again, I want stuff that you can't really get anywhere else and that you can wear, and it shows off your love for boas and you know, hopefully shares it with other people. So I've started it with just 3 items, and they all feature pictures of true red-tailed boas from the Boas you know, breeding collection. And I have one here actually, and I was going to model it for you guys, but of course I'm not the best looking model, and it didn't really fit well on camera, so I thought I'd grab it right here. This is my first t-shirt design, and so up here it says I love red-tailed boas with the little heart. And then it has pictures of 4 beautiful locality-specific red-tailed boas. And down here it says, "Enjoy your boas, Brian Boas." And this is actually an initial prototype. The one I have up there now looks better than this. This is kind of objectionable. It has kind of this background. You know, the new design is much more refined. It doesn't have this background. It's just the I heart red-tailed boas directly on the shirt, so you know it doesn't look like this. I wanted to get this video out to share these the merch availability with you, and I didn't want to have to wait for the updated t-shirts to come in. So you can see on the merch site, which the link is below the video description. You can see exactly what it looks like, and they've got these photos of, you know, a model that wears it, and you know, you can see how it looks from different angles. But I thought it was really cool to have these different types of true red-tailed boas. You know, most people who are reptile keepers could look and they could say, well, that's a boa constrictor, or even that's a red-tailed boa, and they probably don't even know the difference between a boa imperator and a boa constrictor in many cases. But, you know, only the true locality aficionados could look at this and say, well, that's a Suriname red-tailed boa, or that's a Venezuelan red-tailed boa. And I didn't actually put on here which one was which. You know, if you're interested, of course, I'll be happy to tell you. Some of you could probably figure it out either by looking at the shirt or by watching my previous videos on these different types of localities. And, you know, one thing that I wanted to ask you guys is whether you would prefer that the animals or the boas on the shirts be identified as to their species, locality, and maybe even their morph if applicable, or just a picture of the boa. And then the other thing I wanted to ask is whether you prefer designs with just pictures of beautiful boas with limited amounts of text, or you like these catchy slogans. You know, I know this I love red-tailed boas with the heart. Maybe that's a little cheesy to some, but you know, it's kind of reminiscent of those, you know, I heart whatever, I heart New York bumper stickers from the 80s I remember as a kid. So hopefully you guys kind of like that look, and you also appreciate the pictures of the boas. So I've got this t-shirt. I've got a couple of other items available. I've got a mug also with pictures of true red-tailed boas, and I've got a trucker cap with pictures of true red-tailed boas. So go to the site at the link in the video description. Tell me what you think, and if you're interested, pick one up and tell me if you do buy some of my merch. I would love to hear what you think of it, and if you have any suggestions for future future merch, and how I can improve it. I wanted to grab an actual boa for the video before it ends, and this is a Venezuelan true red-tailed boa, one that was born here in 2022. And this is a guy from a locality known as Tamatama in southern Venezuela. And I'll say that there was a Venezuelan red-tailed boa on that t-shirt I just showed you. So if you look at this guy and then study the t-shirt, maybe you can pick out which one is the Venezuelan. Anyway, I also wanted to talk to you about the types of merch you might like to see. There's kind of a bewildering array of different types of merch that you can get. Anything from mouse pads to hoodies to iPhone covers, etc., etc. So let me know if there's something specifically you would like to see Brian Boas merch, and I'll see what I can do about making a design to fit your needs. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. I hope you have an opportunity to check out the merch site. The link is below the video description, and to pick up some merch if you so desire. It really does help support the channel, and people often ask me about how they can support the channel without buying a boa. And often they'll say something like, well, you should do a Patreon, and I'm not really sure if I like the whole concept of Patreon, to be honest. It seems kind of weird in a way. But buying a t-shirt at the Brian Boas merch site, you can help support the channel, and you can hopefully get a really nice shirt that you can enjoy wearing at your next Herp Club meeting or to the next reptile show. Anyway, thanks for watching, and enjoy your boas.